Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 121. Today is Sunday, February 7th, 2016, and I'm really glad you guys could join me today. It is an absolutely beautiful day outside, but it's a little bit later, so the light is fading, and I figured it'd just be better to record in, but I'd be wearing this outside. So, yeah, such is life. So we'll do it from here and it'll be fine. So let's see where to start. So I have been working away on the left front of my mulled cider. So this is where I stand right now, as I'm actually doing 2 or 3, probably 2 repeats of the leaf motif on the left front, and I just sort of launched into the second one not too long ago, and it looks like I'm probably going to be putting in at least another pair of balls into this front, and whatever, I ended up quick snapping a picture for Instagram of everything all together. But let's see. Out of the yarn I started with, which was 17 skeins, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left at this point. So I'm 10 in. I've used nearly 10 at this point. I have 7 more to go, which makes a lot of sense. So I am past the halfway point on count. Oh, it's just crinkling away. The other thing that I'm working on, if I can, yeah, not so bad. The other thing I'm working on is the Everdeen socks by Yvonne Reynolds. This is out of the Dragonfly Fibers Dragon Sock. So I am still, whatever, I ended up not giving this a lot of love this week, but I am still working on the first repeat of the pattern, though I think I'm getting pretty close to starting a new repeat. I'd probably have to do a little knitting, reading. I'm guessing almost, but not quite. I'm probably a few more rows away from doing that, looking at it. Just guesstimating what's going on here. So it definitely looks a lot better when it's all spread out with respect to the pattern. So if it's, the ribbing ends up guiding the eye somewhat, and that's probably the best photo you're going to get of that. And it appears that the crazy variegated part is sort of pooling around it at this point, so that is the story there. So it continues on. I'll probably do 1 more repeat and then start the heel flap, I'm assuming. And figure out what in the world needs to happen for that one. Since it isn't a very good carry around project, I have been carrying around because it's so small, but it doesn't tend to get work done a lot when I'm on the go. Sort of want to finish the sweater before winter's over, if you know what I mean. Well, it's not like winter started here either, so. But that continues on. And I just have, like, what is it? This is my 10 balls of chocolate shell and fleece. Would have been all worked up. Okie doke. That's out of the way. Settle back in here. Alright, so the thing I ended up finishing this week was the Aeolian shawl. which is an Elizabeth Freeman pattern, and I got it all blocked and all pretty. And you can see the ridiculous lace, and then give me a moment and I can show the bottom part. So it is super duper girly, which the person I'm making for is pretty girly, with the picot bind off, and that's the only mod I ended up really making. So it was the case where I did sort of a in between the massive shawl and the shawlette size. So what this means is that it is pretty big for wearing like this. So something where it's definitely gonna keep your neck warm if you're wearing it in a coat. But really, I think it is meant to be worn in back and then tied or just sort of draped over like this. And because it is more of a furrow shape than a triangle shape, like this just stays. It's really stable. So this will be heading off to live with its recipient very soon. I'll need to take a picture of her for the Instagram so you guys can see. And whatever, I need a picture so that when I offer a shawl at auction I can show, and this is representative of what I'll do. So, I did need the 4 tubes of beads for sure. Like I was like halfway through that tube of beads before the end. So apparently that was a good choice. And the picot bind off was definitely several days of work. Like I was trying to just keep working on it and get it over with. And I ended up doing whatever, the 2-stitch style picot bind off, so you cast on 2 and then cast off 4. It does make for a nice loose edge, but oh my gosh. I still need to figure out how much yarn I have left over. Ooh, there's something. Oh, I see. I was going to weigh it and then I forgot, but this is how much of the 9.5 ounces I have left, so not sure what this will be. But definitely has the, apparently Miss Bab's yarn just has this distinctive smell, which I think is like vinegar. I don't know. Maybe it's some other strong sort of scent, but it is sharp, if that makes any sense. So, so I'll probably end up scanning it up and then throwing it in with the rest of the sock yarn stash. And for reference, this is how much of that last tube of beads I ended up using, so I really did need it. So, excuse me. So, yeah, so that's the story there. It's done. It will be going to its recipient and won't be living with me. But I did wear it around Friday because I just sort of wanted to air it out, if you know what I mean. I was expecting that when I washed it, it would smell like my wool wash instead of Miss Bab's wool wash, but eh. Okay. So, next is spinning. So, let's see if I can bring this into frame. Oh, yes, okay. Ha ha ha. So, this is how far I got on my hit a few days spin. I am, like, what you can see here is I'm just starting to get into the blues. I have maybe like a patch of teal left to go, but for the most part it's going to be transitioning to the purples now, or whenever I get through the blues, and then it'll be purples. So that has been really pretty. I'll probably end up doing a lot of spinning tonight because that's sort of what I'm in the mood for. just to get some of that out of the way. The fiber I'm spinning is Alicia Goes Around in what I'm calling the Mallard colorway. And so you can see here that this is the transition from blue to purple, and then I have the purple, and then it'll go back through teal, and then the dark green again. It doesn't seem to be quite as fluffy now as what it was before, so I don't know if that's just because I'm treadling faster or something like that and keeping the fluff down. But, such is life. So, and I have it in my little knotted bag, which I don't think the person who made mine is still actually making them anymore, so that is the story there. So, whatever. Some spinning, I think I did it all at midnight, because I was pretty obsessed with getting the shawl off the needles, because it was just too many projects at once. It might even be that, like, 2 projects is too many projects at once. It's hard to tell. Such is life. So, the next thing was a situation where I should have checked the mail before podcasting last week. I ended up getting some fiber optic in the mail. So I ended up getting 2 colorways. This one is Tapestry, and it is purples and maroons and oranges and maybe like a royal blue. So, very, very pretty. And it is 80% Polworth and 20% silk, so should be a very fun blend to spin. And then the other one I got was a merino, or an 80% merino, 20% silk gradient in the onyx to crimson. And then really, really gorgeous there as well. So they're both from Fiber Optic, so this probably had something to do with me laughing with my mother-in-law about when I asked if she could pick me something up at Rhinebeck. I wasn't expecting her to pick up stuff for me to spin for her. So that was super duper sweet of her to send these things on, and it'll be a lot of fun to spin. I'm looking forward to it. So, I think that is all of the stash position stuff for the day. Apparently I didn't mix my coffee very well because it's becoming sweeter and sweeter, which probably means it's just way too sweet at the bottom. So I did want to do a little bit of enabling in a different way, so I've been watching the back episodes of Stalking Dead Zombies, because I sort of like starting at the beginning and then catching up, and so this week has been an awful lot of catching up. What would it be? So I ended up getting enabled into using a service called Stitch Fix by Amy of the Stalking Dead Zombies. So you go to their website, you tell them about your fashion or lack thereof. You sort of rank what side of things you like. So, for example, there are some things where it's just like, ugh. But there are other things where, what would it be? Like, I just wasn't really sure. So I sort of saw it as a way to sort of kick myself out of my default uniform, so to speak. So I was just hoping for some different things, some things that I wouldn't normally pick for myself off of a shelf, because I really, really hate going to the mall. You know what I mean? It just is no fun to me to go clothes shopping at this point. So what's cool is you sort of give vague instructions, and then they'll send you a box with 5 items in it. I ended up putting in a specific thing for things for the top, so that's what my box consisted of. Let me pull out the card. And I'm actually wearing one of these things right now, so I ended up getting this, like, vest, which I am tremendously, horribly, not even making sense, in love with this stupid vest. It has a hood, and it looks, really good on me. It's, a bit longer, and what they ended up sending were 5 things, and I ended up sending back both of the blue things. Can you believe that? So whatever. The vest is this one on the top. I also, what is it? I guess I ended up keeping everything here. So I have the vest, I have the stripy shirt, and then I have basically the bright orange shirt. And what I ended up sending back was the blue tunic and then the sweater with the floral on it. I reached a conclusion after putting on the floral sweater that I am not a flower print girl. I was up for trying it, and then I was just like, eh. And it looked like, it seemed like it was definitely matching the orange thing, but no. And the other thing was the blue tunic. Like, it's sort of the case where I have a hard time putting on something that's, like, oversized on me and finding it to look good. I think there probably are ways in order to make it look good on me, but the shirt just wasn't doing it for me, because I was trying to figure out, because on one hand you're just not sure, you don't like it because you're not used to it or something like that, but I concluded it was not showing off my good points and not hiding my bad points like I wanted it to. But I was super duper excited that what I actually ended up picking were things I wouldn't have gravitated to normally, so I thought that was really cool. And I didn't end up signing up for the subscription end of it because, what is it? It's not like I'm running through clothing that fast, but it was definitely the case where I just wanted, what appealed to me the most was that I put in some time to sort of say what I liked and didn't like, and then magically it appeared in the mail. And then what was cool about it was that afterwards you ended up getting feedback on how you felt about it and whether it was too pricey or not, or that sort of thing. And then, like, comments, so it'd be the case where, like, it was like, squee, the best! Because I would have never picked the vest out in the store. I would have never even tried it on, and it just looks so stinking good. On a wide variety of things. It's probably not really, it's probably a little bit too casual for work, but such is life. So it'll be the case where, what is it? I think the hope would be, like, whatever, as I use a service like this to sort of move away from, like, what is it, on weekends and stuff like that, wearing a t-shirt I got for free, and what is it, as a part of what I normally wear on the weekends, so to have maybe a bigger collection of grown-up clothes. But then also, what would be nice as well is sort of moving away a little bit from what my defaults are, because it was the case where I went to the mall and could not find my defaults available in the stores. So when I mentioned that in the thing, I think the stylist thought that was because I couldn't find the fact, like, that I didn't like things you could find in the mall. It was more like the things I liked weren't available in the mall right now. So, we'll see. But I think the two styles that I ended up clicking were more mine, were, what was it? The casual chic and then the classic. And I think this vest is the casual chic, which I don't have much of, but this fabulous other self or the idea of being casual chic is appealing, even though I don't have much of it, like whatever, in my wardrobe. Or all of those clothes I own. I'm not sure it really counts as a wardrobe. So I just wanted to give an endorsement because, what was it? And it's not like they paid me to do this either, but I wanted to call it out because I am not fashionable, and it was still fun. So that's what I thought was really cool about it, was because I'm not all excited about fashion, and it worked really well for me. And then I found out my aunt did it too, and she's much more fashionable than me, so I think it's the case where it ends up being a pretty happy medium for getting a surprise. Doesn't matter if you're cool or not. So, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about this week. So the Sock Knitters Cal, which I'm knitting my poor unloved sock for, is going until the end of February, which this year's a leap year, so 29. And then the Hit a Few Days spin is for the Spin the Bin. So I really should sort of bust a move on that, because I would like to make sure I keep going through my bin spins, because I am in the use it or lose it club this year. So at the very least, that means I need to prioritize things I don't want to lose. Or what is it? Lose. All the really nice stuff. And the odds of me finishing something seem slim this week. But it is nice to have, a couple less things on the needles, so that is exciting. Let's see, anything else? I think that's everything. So I should be able to record next week, which will be the 14th of February. And, oh, that's Valentine's Day. Take care, guys. See you again next week.